another episode of On the RoadCast, and this time we have a pro on the podcast. And if you're watching this and not just listening, you know why, because he has a professional microphone and in ears. While Vicky and me are on AirPods, that's how it goes. Hi, Matt. This is Matt Horan,
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Hi,
and
Matt.
he is a drummer and drum tech touring worldwide.
That's correct. Yes.
And he took some time to talk to us today because he's doing some really, really cool things. How are you, and where are you right now?
Well, I'm doing good. I've had some time off the road now. I've been off since like this early December. So I've just been home, hanging out, getting some exercise, and enjoying Arizona, which is where I am, before it gets really, 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 really hot. So, yeah. So I'm just kind of hanging out right now.
And not to mention Arizona again, because we do a lot, but we figured out that Matt and Vicky are neighbors.
Yeah, in a way, we're pretty
Basically.
close. She's in a neighboring city of mine, so like 15, 20 minutes away, we just discovered.
Who would have thought?
I'm back in Austria right now, but yeah, I was just there and I came back on Monday. So you are obviously a touring person. How long have you been in the business and how did you get into it? A lot of people always ask us, so this is obviously right into the deep end, but a lot of people always ask us, do you have tips, or how did the other people that you talk to get into the music industry? How did they start off? What was the journey for you like, if you want to share that?
My journey, I think, is pretty similar to most people. So I'm a drum tech, mostly, more than a drummer. I played drums. I've been playing for like 24 years now, but I've been touring as a drum tech for probably 8 of those years. But I've been touring with like teching and playing combined for probably 11 or 12 now. I got into the industry through playing locally, just getting involved in the local music scene. Like when I was coming up, it was popping. This is like before Spotify, and like it was kind of the beginning of social media and stuff. So word of mouth worked back then more than anything else. And so yeah, I was just playing in local bands and kind of getting my name out there. I grew up in a very small town, so I was like the only drummer out here. So I actually started working at this pizza place, and I met some people that worked there that were in a band that lived in a different city than me. So this was like how I discovered the local music scene, was through them. So I joined some metal bands and whatnot. And then eventually through that, I met someone that ended up in an international touring band, a band called The Word Alive. My friend Daniel Shapiro, he does, I think he does front of house for Mod Sun now and a bunch of other artists like that. And so anyways, The Word Alive had lost a drummer before they went to do their second album. And he just hit me up out of the blue and was like, hey, our drummer quit. You want to come record this album? And I was like, hell yeah. This is like my first opportunity to like really get my foot in the door and kind of make an impact. This is actually when I was in the studio. We were at Joey Sturgis' studio, and Instagram had just came out while we were in the studio. So we all made Instagram accounts while we were recording that album. It's called, the album's called Life Cycles. That was my first record with them. But they asked me to join the band, and I declined at the time. I was in like a local band at home, and I just had starry eyes about this local band and stuff. So I'd already dedicated so much time that I figured, hey, this is going to work out. But anyways, it didn't work out. But they hired a drummer called Luke Holland. He's like a YouTube guy. He's played for a lot of huge artists and stuff since The Word Alive. But he hit me up for Warped Tour 2014 to drum tech for him. So that was like my first time touring and making money, because I had played in another band before this. It's kind of, sorry, I'm jumping around in the story here, but I played for a band called City in the Sea, and they were signed to Sumerian Records. So that was my first touring as a drummer, but I didn't make any money. I basically paid money to I lost money touring, which is kind of what happens at the beginning for most people, I think. So anyways, I teched for Luke for a while, for a couple of years, and then I quit and tried to have like a normal life and manage this restaurant and stuff. And I'm just watching all my friends having fun on the road the whole time, and I missed it. So I hopped back in eventually, and then Luke quit the Word Alive. So then I joined the Word Alive, and I played with them from 2017 to 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. The music industry completely fell apart. And so I was going to quit touring again. And I was going to go to welding school and become a welder and just kind of live a normal life again. And then right after COVID, Luke joins Falling in Reverse. And I teched for him in the past already. We already had built a lot of rapport, and we're homies and stuff. So he hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to come drum tech for me? I'm playing for Falling in Reverse, and we could pay you this much. And it blew my mind because I had no idea that you could even make like legit money touring. So I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. And I've been with them since 2021 now. So about 4 or 5 years I've been teching for those guys, and it's been quite the ride. I did their last theater tour, sold out theater tour, and then after that it's been all arenas, headlining festivals, big sheds, all that stuff. So it's been quite the ride.
Do you ever miss drumming yourself since you're not in an active band right now?
Sometimes I do, but a lot of the time I don't. Like, I really like the behind the scenes part of touring because I can work for multiple artists and it doesn't bother anybody. Like, nobody gets upset about it, and it's like totally accepted in this world, to like hop around from band to band. Like, Falling is my main gig, but if I have time off and I can work for someone else, I'm always more than happy to do so. So, but when you're in a band, you're kind of like shackled
Committed
to that band. Exactly. Yeah. So, I do miss playing a little bit, but I wouldn't be upset if I never performed again, to be honest. So
as long as you can play with drums in any way.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Because I'm 37 now, and I started playing drums when I was like 10, right about to turn 11. So,
because fun fact, you told me you wanted to learn how to play the clarinet.
Yeah.
But your dad said play something cooler.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and tell this story too. So yeah, 6th grade for me. So I was like 10, about to turn 11, and I was in middle school, and the opportunity to join band class had arisen, and I knew my dad played clarinet, and I just wanted to be like my dad. So I wrote on the little permission slip thing, I wrote clarinet down, and for some reason he happened to be at work, he happened to be home in the morning before I went to school. He usually never was, but so I handed him the permission slip, and I was like, hey, can you sign this so I can join band? I want to play clarinet like you. And he like gave me this weird look like, you want to play clarinet? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, no. He's like, play something cool. Chicks, like, do drums. Yeah. He's like, I don't think that's going to work out for you, boy. But he crossed out clarinet, wrote drums, signed it, and sent me off. And here we are.
Well, guess who did learn to play the clarinet in school?
Yeah.
I learned the flute, like the recorder. And
I could be the drum tech for Falling in Reverse if I would have done something else.
If your parents would have signed the slip or wrote drums on it. That's a pretty cute story, though.
I always wonder how my life would have played out had I played the fucking clarinet. Can I cuss? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If I would have played, okay, sick. Yeah, if I would have played clarinet, who knows what would have been happening now?
Also, it's never too late. If you want to learn how to play the clarinet, you can still. I can teach you.
It's never too late. I do have a question. Now that you mentioned, I wonder how my life would have turned out. That's actually a question that I wrote down. If you could live your life again, the same one to some extent, would you do the same thing all over again? Would you, or is there something where you would be like, oh fuck, maybe I would do something different? Or
do I have,
what I'm trying to
do I have hindsight in this situation? Do I like know what's going to happen, or am I given like a crystal ball and it just sends me back and my memory's wiped?
We'll take the option that you would like more. I don't know.
So I already know everything, kind of.
Okay, you know everything.
Then I would honestly do the same exact thing. I would. This is like a tear. All the kids out there work hard in school, but I would work less hard in school and focus more on the drums because I got really good
Fuck
grades
school.
growing up, and it stressed me out as a kid. So if I had hindsight, I would have totally chilled and gotten C's, just got by, because I went to college, but I dropped out like 2 years in. I didn't even get any sort of degree or anything. I didn't know what I was doing there at all. I got scholarships to college, so I went for free. And I was just existing in college, not having any idea what I was doing. So I was a music major, which is a terrible idea. I mean, no offense to anyone else out there that's a music major, but
Thanks.
it's not
Same.
the road I want to go. Yeah. You were a music major as well?
Yeah, I studied jazz
Yeah, it's
vocals.
worthless. It's like totally worthless. Like if you want to work in the industry, you just have to get out there and do it. You can't. There's no one's going to teach you how to do it. Well, the education system isn't.
Well, here comes the part about teaching that we should talk about, because you are not only a touring drummer, you have a huge online following. You do YouTube videos of your tour life and other things around your life. And you have a lot of people actually looking up to you, people who learn how to play the drums that you kind of teach, right?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, it's definitely considered educational content because I guess I'm tuning drums and I'm showing like a very realistic, detailed day-to-day life as a professional in this world, in the touring world. So, yeah.
Basically, you're doing what I'm doing, just professionally. Like the videos, I'm doing like stupid little phone videos. You have a full-on body cam, and
Yeah.
your videos are like an hour long for like one day. And it's super interesting. How did you start doing that? Did you see that there's something missing that people would love to see about the industry, and you just did it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice the lack of content like that out there when I was doing it. I just kind of one day, I can't remember I think we were on a headliner tour, one of the first arena headlining tours, and I think we were in like New Mexico or something, and I Ubered to a Best Buy because I was like, I'm gonna buy a GoPro and a chest mount and just kind of film a day, and maybe I can make something cool out of it. And so yeah, I got the GoPro and stuff. I filmed a day. I made the video, and the thing about my content is I didn't want it to distract from my job. Like at the end of the day, I'm a drum tech first, and then like the content thing is like a complete afterthought. Like, so I want to come up with a way that wouldn't affect anything and make me look like the guy that's like, hey, what's up? And like talking to a camera. So I didn't want to talk originally. Like the first year, I like don't talk at all in those videos. And so I made a video and I did the subtitle thing. So I just explain what I'm doing in subtitles. So at the beginning of every video, it's like, please turn on CC, closed captions. So that way I could later on in post kind of give some attention to what's going on. But anyways, I made the video and I hit up Ronnie and I was like, hey man, I made this video. I don't use the band's name. I don't use your name. It's completely drum stuff. There's no backstage. It's literally just drums and like some Luke. Is it cool if I put this on YouTube? And he was like, yeah, bro, go for it. So I was like, maybe, because I already had a YouTube channel at this time, just drum covers. I had like 1,000 subscribers maybe. And I uploaded the video and I was like, maybe this will get like 15,000 views. It'd be sick if it got 15,000 views. And I went to sleep and I woke up the next day and it had like 45,000 views. And I was like, holy shit. Boy. And then I was just sitting there refreshing my studio page in YouTube, and like my subscriber count was just soaring. I would refresh, wait a minute, refresh, and there'd be like 100, 200 more subscribers. And I'm like, I used to live with my brother at the time, and I was like, Grady, his name's Grady. I was like, Grady, check this out. I'm like, come here. And I'm like refreshing the page and the graph is just going up. My subscriber count's going up. And the video ended up getting like 400,000 views, like the first video. And then after that, it just went crazy. Like there's like a couple that are around 1 million. One's almost 2 million, probably passed by now. I haven't checked, but yeah, it just went crazy. And then I just didn't, there was a hole in that content. Nobody was doing anything like that. So I just kind of accidentally blew the lid off of what kind of goes on backstage. So people really, really grabbed onto it and loved it.
You also told me that you have like you sometimes on your Patreon or other accounts you post like you mountain biking and people still watch it. So
yeah,
you definitely have a big following.
Shout out to the patrons.
Yeah. They want to know everything you do now.
Yeah, I like to think of Patreon as just people that really like the content are just more than willing to support the creator at that point, because there's not a lot of drum stuff on Patreon. It's just like random. I've always made videos and edited. I did like video classes in high school. I made skate videos as a kid. I loved all that. So to me, I just like, I made a video of me like digging a hole and replacing a post at a fence the other day, and it was like super fun to make, and people really liked it. So I don't know. It's more of an experiment. That is what Patreon is, but I really enjoyed the Patreon stuff.
So you talked about how you show your daily life on tour with your videos and how people are interested in that. And I know for a lot of us touring people, the days are kind of similar, but it also sometimes is completely different to what kind of job you have. So when I'm on tour, I know there's people get them, I don't know when in the day, like right before load-in, if even, or you have to wake them up. And some people get up at the butt crack of dawn, depending on what their job is, and go to bed like the latest or last.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to give us a quick rundown, what does your typical day on tour look like, if there is such thing for you? And what do you do if you have time off? How do you relax and how do you unwind from touring, which can also be super stressful?
Yeah. So in my camp, everything is divided into what's the word? Departments, basically. So are you guys familiar with Master Tour? I'm sure you are.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Okay, so
hate
everything.
It.
Yeah, I love it. You probably hate it, yeah, for sure, because you got to put everything in it. I love Master Tour. You can put people in guest list on Master Tour. It's so easy. But anyways, for those of you that are listening that don't know, Master Tour is basically an app used for touring personnel, and it has a schedule, like basically from day one, there's a schedule to the end of the tour. So you can see what hotels you're staying at, you can see where you're going to be and all this stuff. So anyways, it has your daily schedule as well. So I'm part of Backline, which is its own department. So anybody dealing with an instrument or something like that, that's dealing directly with an artist. And I think I have the most cush gig. I think Backline has it made. We definitely have a pay ceiling, but also the trade-off is way more relaxed work situations. So I'm last to arrive, first to leave. So a day for me is I have to be at the stage at 10 a.m. and then all the riggers and like audio techs and stuff are there at like 6 a.m. and stuff like that. So I roll in, to stage. All my cases are already by the drum riser. The riser's already built, and I'm in my flippy floppies, just seeing if it's even ready for me or not. And if it's not ready, I'll go hit catering and grab some breakfast, maybe put real shoes on, and then I'll come back to the stage like 30 minutes later, and then I'll set up drums. A lot of the time in this band, my drums will live on a riser, so I don't even have to like completely build the full kit. It's like already halfway set up. I just take cymbals off and a few toms that are maybe mounted or something like that. And so I'm basically just hopping up there, throwing some drums on, throwing some cymbals, making sure no cymbals are cracked, making sure heads are good. If they're not good, then I'll do a head change. I usually change like snare head every day or every other day, and then toms every 2 days, every 3 days. Depends on how long their set is. If it's a 90-minute set, I'm changing heads a lot. But if it's shorter than that, then I don't have to do as much. But yeah, so I'll say I set up the kit. I have like an hour or two before sound check or line check. I'll do line check. This band doesn't sound check all the time, so I can play the music. So me and like one of the guitar techs will actually perform a song for front of house and monitors to help them do their thing. And then I'll black out the kit, and then I'm good to go until it's about lunchtime at this time. And then I'm just kind of chilling until like 9:30 at that time. So a lot of downtime, you guys know, on the road, and I'll just be flipping on my phone.
If you're a drum tech.
Yeah.
If you're a tour manager, you have zero.
You're literally working 24/7. I don't know how you guys do it. You have to have a different brain to handle that job.
I don't mind not TMing. I'd rather maybe just do front of house, but
yeah,
we're not at your level yet.
On the
I
last
don't know
run,
how
I
I ended
did
up here.
TM
It's
and
all
merch.
coincidence.
That was a far
But
stretch.
yeah, but you asked what I do on my downtime when I get home as well. Yeah. So
Well, yeah, if you want to share, sure.
Or also on tour during the day, like
In those
on
9
tour,
hours, you've got time off, dude.
yeah, I know.
a
Well, a lot
9 hour
of my,
nap.
yeah, I try not to nap. If I fall in the nap, if I start napping, it's like game over. Then I think touring becomes really monotonous if you start throwing naps in, because then you're just kind of sleeping the day away, you know?
I don't know. I sometimes take a 10-minute
Really?
power
Oh
nap.
man, I try not to nap. I will sometimes, but I try not to. But yeah, I don't know. I'll usually on tour, my days are filled. My downtime is like editing time. So I'll upload footage throughout the day, and then I'll try and edit so that I can actually have a day off when day offs arrive, versus sitting in my hotel room and just editing to the end of the night. So I try and be
I was
productive.
gonna ask, when do you do all the editing? Because since we do a podcast and I do a lot of like road videos too when I'm on the road, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of work, especially when
Yeah.
you type in your subtitles yourself. I'm sure you have a good workflow now that it goes faster and faster every time you do it, but it's still a lot of work.
Yeah, the subtitles are quite the pain in the ass, to be honest, because I'm writing a script basically every single time, so it's not like I can just use some AI generated thing that like mimics what I'm saying. So it's quite the pain in the ass, but that takes a lot of my time. But if I do have days off where I don't have to do anything, or I decide not to do anything, I love the crew that I work with. We're all good friends, so there's always someone to go out and like get some food, go explore the city, and all sorts of stuff. So I try and have as much fun as possible. But then I have to make content for Patreon, so I'll do like day off vlogs. So it's almost like there is no days off when I'm on tour, because I have to seize the opportunity to make an entertaining video for the people that are paying extra money to see extra stuff. So there's a lot of pressure that kind of comes along with that, because you're like, damn, I haven't uploaded on Patreon in a couple weeks. These people are paying money. Oh my God. But yeah,
That's why you have to kind of do the, well, I don't know, you're building something on a farm or you're going mountain biking, because even when you're not on tour, you need to produce content and you can't pre-produce that much while you're on tour to fill the gap that when you're home.
Yeah, exactly. But when I am home, usually the first couple of days I lock myself in my room when I get home and just avoid human contact at all cost. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I'm too social for that.
You get right back to it.
I didn't leave the house today.
Sports is what I do usually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, I don't even tell people when I get home. I lie. Sorry, everybody. Like,
Dude,
if I get home on the 3rd, I'm like, yeah, I'm home on the 7th.
I've done this before too. I'm like, oh, fuck, I just can't.
Yeah,
and then when they're like, well, I saw online the tour and said, yeah, super long travel and
I gotta go to the storage
stuff
units.
in the storage. Yeah, like please.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the tour starts 2 weeks before the tour, so
pre-production. Hey.
Yeah, I just feel so bad telling people no, I don't want to hang out, so I just lie. I just be like, oh, I'm busy for an extra couple days, but
it's relatable. It's fine.
Right? Yeah, you guys get it.
We get it.
But then I have to get out of that routine quickly, or else it gets depressing. Because then you're not hanging out with anybody, and then it gets too easy to say no to people. And then before I know it, I'm playing video games 12 hours a day, and I haven't spoken to another human. So yeah,
it's
I gotta
the same
person.
Harsh contrasts.
Could be same area.
Wait, are you also playing The Sims like Vicky does?
No. That's my depression game. If you catch me playing The Sims, you need to contact me and make sure I'm okay, because that is the game. Like, if I'm playing The Sims, I'm depressed. If I'm watching Love Island, I am depressed. So if any of that is happening, you got to check on me.
All right.
Copy.
Yes.
Let's talk about snacks real quick, because you were like, oh, grabbing dinner with the crew, whatever. Is there anything that you found on tour, no matter where in the world, where you're like, this is the best food or snack I've ever found?
Oh man, this is a hard question, because I just love food, man. Honestly, this might be a boring answer to you guys, but like if I'm in Europe, like I can't wait for late night kebab. Like late night kebab hits so different over there. It's so much better, and it's just I don't know. It's just super satisfying. So I look forward to that. What I can't think of anything else right now. Seafood, if I'm in like the East Coast of America, like Maine or somewhere like that, like Portland, Maine has like incredible seafood. Um, we'll always go out and get like massive oyster plates and stuff and get wild
Lobster
with the
rolls.
seafood. Yeah, lobster rolls. Portland, Maine, they know how to do it there for sure.
What's
Um,
what since I got you guys here, what is a classic Arizona meal?
Anything
Filibertos.
Mexican.
Yeah, see.
Oh my God. I'm booking a flight right now. I need a breakfast burrito and a quesadilla, bitch. That's what I need, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Los
Filibertos.
Faves.
Yo,
Los
wow, that's a
Faves.
deep cut. I didn't expect you to
I
know
know.
Los Faves.
Man.
I was like, she'll know
I know.
Filibertos. Los Faves is the deep cut. That's like, there's, like everybody knows about Filibertos, but if someone mentions Los Faves, they're in tune with Arizona Mexican food culture for sure.
It's because of my fiance. It's every time we finish a show or whatever, or he's done with the show, he's like, all right, let's get a breakfast burrito at Los Faves. I'm like, I'm down. I'll take a cheese quesadilla with some guac and sour cream.
Yeah, there used to be this, there used to be a venue called the Clubhouse in Tempe, and it was like it was like a 500 cap room, but the sound was like it was just perfect. Like the way it was set up, it sounded really good, and it was like intimate, but like if you're on stage and it's sold out, it feels like a massive show. But there was a Filiberto's right next door to it, so it was like the hangout spot. If you're like playing a show or going to a show, everybody meets at Filiberto's. There's a line longer than the ticket line for Mexican food at that place. That place was awesome. R.I.P. the Clubhouse.
Los Faves has merch. So close to buying a t-shirt that says I love Los Faves. I have a sticker on my Pelly case that says I love Los Faves.
I gotta go get one of those.
I mean it. It's true. Sorry, Connie, go ahead.
We're totally running out of time talking about Mexican food in Arizona, which is great, but we cannot stop this podcast without hearing your craziest tour story.
Okay, I have a story that's like, it's not crazy, but it's kind of like a good insight on being a backline tech in bad situations. Like, so a few years ago, Luke has a side project with his guitar player called Jason Richardson. It's just called Jason Richardson. And we did like an India Asian tour one time, like a couple weeks long. And we did I think we did 5 cities in India. And I didn't get paid for this. He was just like, hey, we'll pay for your flights if you want to come drum tech and, just help out. And I was like, I've never been to India. Let's do it. Hell yeah. And we landed in India, and it was just the most culture shock I've ever dealt with in my entire life. Like I had been to like Malaysia, Indonesia, and China and all this stuff already, but India that is advanced travel is India. But anyways, in this situation, it's all backline kits. So we didn't travel with a kit or anything like that. Jason had like his guitars, of course, and his, I think he uses Axe FX or something. I can't remember which one, but he traveled with all that, of course. But it was just me, front of house engineer, and those two. And then we had a guide with us, this Indian dude. But anyways, I can't remember exactly where we were. I think we were in like Calcutta or something. And they had everything. They had everything we needed drum-wise, but they didn't have a drum rug. So it's like a concrete stage, and there was 0 rug. So I'm like, all day was this like looming feeling. Like, how hard do you think it would be to find a rug, right? Anywhere in the world.
In India, probably not so hard.
India.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but like, you would think they're anywhere. So it was like this multiple hour ordeal where we're trying to find a rug and we couldn't find one. So we were like inches away from just canceling this show just because it's like the music's insane. It's like crazy music, like insane double bass and all this stuff. There's like 0 way he could play a full set with no rug. So we're searching all over for the rug and stuff, and there's nothing. And eventually like somehow the kitchen staff, this is a small venue, the kitchen staff gets involved, and they have those, I don't know if any of y'all have worked in a kitchen before, but they have those rubber mats that they put everywhere so you don't slip. And they ripped those dirty, nasty rubber mats out of the kitchen, and we used that for a drum rug, and the show went on. But that day was just like such a defeating day, because it's like everything's good, the show's like sold out, but this little piece, which is advanced, by the way, all this
I
is
was just gonna
advanced.
say, doesn't it say on the fucking
The
tag
rider,
rider, we need a rug?
yeah, we need a DW's collector's kit, 22 by 18, 12, 16, snare, all these stands, all of it is there. It's not in the best condition, it never is. But I mean, let's multiply this by India, and it's pretty bad. But
No rug.
yeah, no rug. But yeah, I just remembered that day being so stressful, because like, you know, I'm a problem solver and stuff, you know. I feel like that's part of the reason why I've kept my job in this camp for so long. Like, but I could not solve this little problem of a rug, and eventually we got through it. But I just remember that being such a wild, defeating day, and everybody was just kind of bummed out. But like right before doors, we came up with the solution. But so I had to tear the kit down again to make room for the rug and set it up all over again. But whatever, show went on.
You did it.
Crazy.
We did it, yeah.
You also gotta be MacGyver on tour, no matter in which department you work. You gotta have like, oh yeah, we'll do this. Give me a rubber band and an old chewing gum, and I'll fix this.
my mind went to, what if you like sew some hoodies together or whatever? Like,
they were bringing me all sorts of stuff. They're like, we, you know, like just like little, like a bunch of towels and stuff, and I'm like,
just like random things, and you're like, oh my god, how do I
like,
assemble this to be a drum rug?
Yeah,
and
it's
like nobody
slide.
speaks English and stuff, so it's like I'm using like a translator, and they're like bringing me just like strips of cloth, and I'm like, explain to them that it has to, like, it can't slide. So I'm like putting the pedals on the towel, and I'm like pushing it to show them it's not gonna stick. This is a problem, you know.
This reminds me a lot of Alcatraz in Milan, where respectively, respectfully, every hand is super nice, but no English. And you're like hands and feet, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, and this needs to go from the truck into, and they're like, this is crazy. Connie speaks Italian, she doesn't have the problem, but I'm like, oh my god, like, you see the truck, you see the stage, what do you think is gonna happen? We need to get the gear out, and this goes here, and crazy.
I do Google Translate a lot.
Is insane.
I do, like, Japan, for example. I'll just like, I have in my notes, I have whatever I want to say. I have pre-written things of like, because, you know, sometimes there's a console that I'm like not so quick in, and I'll be like, please set up 4 effects and returns. Number 1 is blah, blah, blah. Number 2 is blah, blah, blah. And I have this pre-written in my notes. And when I need it, I copy, go to Google Translate, paste it, and show it to the fast guy. So we're quicker. We're moving faster.
Yeah. I never have to deal with it. So props to you. I would be fumbling all over the place in that situation.
It's tough.
Well, and then I always say arigato.
No matter where you are, arigato?
No, just in Japan.
Okay.
Why would I say that somewhere else?
When you're in India, just drop it. It's fine.
Arigato. It's fine. I also say, that's my biggest joke, konnichiwa.
Yeah, konnichiwa.
Wherever I am, konnichiwa.
Nice.
Oh, I miss Japan. Okay, well, it's the best. So we're a little over time already, but very important question before we end the podcast. What is your favorite road jam, your favorite road song?
Ooh, I think there's one song by this artist Tycho called Die. It's DYE, not DIE. But it's like, I don't know what it is about that one, but I've been listening to that song on repeat for like years, like 3 or 4 years. And that's my wake up in the morning at the hotel, take a shower, and put Die by Tycho on. And it just like starts my day nice and calm and happy. I don't know. I like that. We all work in heavy music, so we're surrounded by chaos and loud noises and sub drops and screaming all the time. So I need something to like cut that up and something a little more relaxing, you know?
I get that. Yeah. We'll use it as outro music for the episode.
Thank you so much, Matt, for joining us and for giving us an insight. And we're super thankful that somebody with such a huge following and everything you do took the time to do this with us. And
Of course.
it's
Thank
funny
you guys
that
for having
even
me.
on like, yeah, of course, that even on like different scale touring, there are so many parallels when you're where you're like, oh yeah, same situation, but on a different scale. It's very funny to see that.
Yeah, it's all the same. It actually just gets easier.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Like, if you can handle a small shitty club with no drum rock and whatever situation you're thrown in, if you can handle that at whatever position, you can handle it on the bigger scale, I think.
Absolutely. That's what gets you ready for that is the early days of it. So yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
well, so everyone out there, go learn the drums instead of the clarinet. And be like Matt.
Be like Matt, and then you've got it made. Thank you so much for being here, and yeah, for everybody in the audience, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you again very, very soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.